¿Qué tal a todos? Bienvenidos una vez más al Cuartel del Metal. Soy Federico, espero que estén muy bien. Hoy tengo aquí a Henrique Pucci, con quien vamos a estar conversando. Él es baterista, acerca de muchas cosas que él tiene ahora en su agenda. Enrique, how are you? Thank you for being here today.
I'm pretty good, and thanks for the invitation. It's a pleasure to talk to people like close where we live, and we don't have that much contact, unfortunately, but we're working on it. And it's a pleasure. I'm glad to be here talking to a very metal website and make communication with the metal guys in Peru and all abroad.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure that you're here today speaking with me and with everyone here watching. First of all, well, I would like to ask you, we've spoken a bit before recording, but how's everything been for you during the pandemic? I know you've been really active, so want to tell me a bit about what you've been doing?
Yeah, man, we had to come back to Brazil after our second show of 15 shows in Europe.
Wow.
So we have to cancel the tour like in the third show and come back to Brazil. So we still are about to do this tour like in January, I think, or March. I think March will be, they are rescheduling everything. And after that, I started like, oh, I know I'm gonna be here like in the studio for a while. So we just kept working like as a drummer on things that I didn't have time to work on it, like new studies, new techniques, and for the band, like working on the new record. On the DVD we recorded with the Mike Portnoy here in Brazil on a tour we did. I'm doing more like communication, social media for the band. So I start to learn how to edit videos. I putting out my drum course, drum lessons in August 4th when I'm doing the online classroom, like online teaching of blast beats and double bass techniques, very specific for the metal drummers. So I'm doing like this whole course for the metal drummers, like the things that really matters for drummers who wants to play metal, which is really different from the other kinds of music, or other styles of playing, so just it opened a new way of working, like the new activities on the place of doing tours, like playing shows, planning rehearsal for the shows, like we had the opportunity to do different things that we always wanted to have time, so
yes,
we used the best the best way we could, but we missed so much being tour, like like the feel of a band is for me is touring, like it's talking to people, moshing, sweating, like.
Yes. Well, let's hope that March comes real soon, so you can, well, do those rescheduled dates in Europe, I hope.
Yeah, right now we're just man, we only have like 4 or 5 months to do everything we're doing, to get everything done. So it's just like, it's motivation. We have some motivations on this part of the idea of preparing things and to release, but we're waiting anxiously for the normal time,
Yes. Well, but for the time being, you just mentioned it a few moments ago. Well, on August the 4th, you will have a classroom on blast beats and double bass. You said it. I mean, techniques really important for metal drummers, heavy music players. That's, of course, I understand it's free to watch, and it's got a WhatsApp chat that people can join, so then you can pass on the details. But would you like to tell us what we can expect from that lesson without many spoilers, because the idea is for them to to watch it, of course.
No, sure. No, the thing is like we always see the drummers playing fast, but we don't actually know what they've been doing or what they done to get on that speed, on that way of playing, like being heard every note you play. So just opportunity to see the blast beat being built,
Okay.
how you can work, how you can play it in a way that will sound good, not only like losing some notes, which is really common on drummers. Like it's hard to keep everything. Uh, you hear every note in the same in a way of dynamics, work on dynamics, which is sometimes you say, "Oh, it's a style with not much dynamics," but the dynamics we found on that styles in metal, you gotta use it. Like even if it's a small space, a little space for dynamic, it's very worthful. Like you can find a lot of ideas playing with this. But the idea of blast beats, like, is something that I've been playing like for more than 10 years. And you always find a way to play it different and get better somehow, and it's like it doesn't have limitations on the speed you can play. So how to really play before getting really fast, how to make it sound cool so you can get better on the speed, on the way of playing. But I see that this part is missing, like how you build the
Mhm.
blast speed, like what exercise you can do to get better. Like your left hand is always like behind your right hand. So I make use of mirrors so you can copy your hand with another, which helped me a lot when I start doing. Even with the feet, you put the mirror right on your feet so you can see the movement you're
Mhm.
doing. Like so, things that when I just found out like I could use that, it saved me a lot of time. Like a lot of time of studying with which lead me to nowhere, like, or what I mean, like, take me a lot of time to just get a little better. So I know it must be a better way, so it can
Right.
a lot of research, like different techniques. You see techniques coming from new drummers, techniques from um, Jenny Krupa, which is like, from 40s that you can apply now. No, so it's just so much more information, and nowadays you have like the guitar players building the drums, composing the drums, so uh, they don't have the limitation to play right on beat, right on time. Just put the note there, it's there. You don't need to play there. So it's just like uh, they put um, another step for us to to
Like
be
a
like to
challenge, yeah.
be able. Yeah, it's challenging to play a drum line that you build on a computer. Like sometimes you don't think like human, you just think like
Yeah, yeah.
um so it made it like a challenge for the new drummers to play whatever someone is programming for
Yeah.
drums. So, and other point which is really important for any metal drummers is the double bass.
Yeah.
So I see which a lot of drummers can play on time. It's because of their feet. Like once you put your feet on time, your whole play comes on time. Like it's just like it was. Sometimes you don't see that the pedal is the limitation that your hand is facing. Like so just. Uh, about when you start working on your feet, you start playing much more on time the song. Besides that, you learn to play faster. You learn to play lines that you can create a lot of things that uh, has not been created, or not just copy. It's another point of this class, as you make people do their own music, not copy phrases and make a phrase of copy words, like from other drummers, like find out what really uh, tells who you are, when you're playing, like you have a Sepultura shirt, like
Yeah,
when you hear Igor playing, you know what he wants to pass to your heart, like you
absolutely,
feel,
of course.
uh, like you can feel like the groove of the Brazilian grooves. And if you put a samba player playing samba, it's gonna sound like samba, but Igor playing samba, it sounded metal. It sounded something different, just created another thing. It can be bad, but it can be good. And
Yeah,
if you learn how to master your technique, your own technique, then maybe becomes a new drum technique, like which many drummers have been created. And I love to be like in a learning new techniques. I used to play with a pedal with chain, and the new generation came with the direct drive, and I said, "Oh, give me that," And the first I couldn't even play, but uh, that that brought me a curiosity to, oh, how this thing must work, like, and after practicing a while, playing way better with this pedal than the old ones. I think that what makes you like keep playing, like see, oh, I have much more to learn, like even when I teach classes, I learn more other stuff, what not to do, it's another thing to learn too. But basically, you will learn how to build blast beats, all kinds of blast beats. Like I will talk about 6, 7 types of blast beats,
wow.
even the Max Kolesny. We talking about making a live next week after I think the second week of August, and we're gonna talk about double bass and blast beat also. And he created one with 3 on on 6, playing 6 in his hand and 4 in his feet, playing 6 on his feet and 8 on the
Okay.
hand, which made sound like samba has this combination of grooves, 3 and 4, 6 and 8, 6 and 4, and he put that on a blast beat and sound unique, like it sound unique. So other drummers already start to copy. So he made another, he contributed for with another blast for the drummers community, like, so it's just really welcome, like all this new drummers I see. Like I don't see any competition at all. I see like each
Yeah,
one like drinking of each one's techniques, like, which is pretty
sure.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a interesting approach because, as you said, I mean, uh, well, more blast beat than double bass, but you got tons of different techniques to learn from, different way like to approach the stick
Yeah,
while you hit.
and each drummer who makes the blast beats, it sounds different,
Yeah,
like they sound different. It's not a thing that can sound really equal from each one, even if you edit, put some samples, it will still sound different, like a way of playing, a way of groove the blast beat, like even talking about live situations gets more important because you don't have the studio guy to putting your snare volume up when you're playing a blast beat,
it sounds
like,
like you play it. Yeah,
yeah. And at most, like when you get like close to what you really want on the live, the studio guy will make easy for him. You're gonna make easy for him, like, because
mm,
it's gonna sound good on the record. It just feel like you mix to make it sounds like it glue, not to uh find mistakes, like just find a way to make it sound like as he played in that way, like, so because you have the live situation, and for me, live metal, it's where the truth is revealed, like when you see a band live, you like, even if you love the band, you're gonna see live, if you don't like it live, it's hard to keep a fan that you were like before
Yeah.
seeing live. But if you see a band that you like, and the show like is a kick-ass show, well, man, you're gonna become like a really fan of the band, which Sepultura was in the shows. I went to the Kills AG show.
Oh,
Always, man, you didn't have time to breathe, like even with the slow songs, we're just like the expectation of the parts, those crazy things, like the energy that I think it depends on the whole band, like the drummers, and they contribute a lot for this, but it's a chemical thing, like chemistry working on on the band,
yeah, it's a whole, definitely. So Enriquez, you played a lot of and still play, of course, lots of metal subgenres. You've done, of course, progressive, hardcore, extreme metal. I would like to ask you, of course, perhaps this could be a really long answer, but how do you think both these techniques, both double bass and blast beats, can like adapt to each one of these musical styles? I mean, would you find some sort of specific things that go with each genre? Any drummer can play whatever he likes. I mean, what do you analyze about that?
That's a cool thing, because I've been doing this for my whole life. When I joined Paura, which was when I was 19, they were playing hardcore, and I used to play metal, and I brought a lot of metal in the hardcore before the word metalcore. Like
Oh, okay.
we were called the new school of hardcore here, Paura, which mix some metal, thrash metal with hardcore, and then I went to Project 46, which
Of
more
course.
like metalcore band, and I brought a lot of hardcore for the band. But before Paura, I used to play in a progressive band, more melodic, with keyboards and stuff, and I used to listen a lot of Symphoniacs, Dream
Oh,
Theater, Nevermore, which was more that. Then I wanted to play hardcore, and I went to the band to play hardcore, and they wanted to play metal. Like, oh, we wanted you playing metal, no, so fast metal, like, really fast, always like fast. And I was the fast, and the guitar player was faster, even fast. So it made me like get better in playing fast, like because of him. And then Project 46, I could use more blast beats, and I already use it in Paulo. I think my fastest blast beat was in a Paulo song, and so we put a lot of, and the guys will say, "Oh man, this is for too metal," uh, for and then they've been using this for a lot. They already use a lot. And I said, man, blast beat came to stay. This was like 10 years ago, and then I could see like ways of grooving, like in different kinds of blast beats, so and now the new Nocturnal album has, I think, 4 blast beats and even
okay.
more, and it sound natural, like even a song we did with Mike Portnoy, there's
Yeah.
a blast beat, and he made a blast beat also. So, oh, Enrique, you made me play blast beats. We get along like really cool. I thought he was like, but he was a really cool guy. He's a really cool guy. We had a good time on the tour, like everything went fine, so we didn't get to know maybe a side that problem side, like when it's see problems. So we just we knew the uh, a good person the whole time in the tour. So we enjoyed a lot playing that. So we just change every band I go. Like it's hard to not take like part of my whole background, you know, like because if I hear a part of that like it fits, I don't start thinking like, whoa, it's too metal, it's too hard. Just like if it's sounding cool, you know, like it's cool, you know, like so maybe that won't make people say, oh, you put some different drums that I would never think, because sometimes I get the idea from a totally different style, you know, like and when I play in nocturnal, I like to drink a lot of other styles, so it will be like something new for the style, you know, like something that people not used to listen every time, you know. And even like when I come like to progressive and they uh, s- so oh, it's a progressive, but it's not really progressive. And I say, well, man, you come from hardcore and you're saying this. I say, yeah, you don't have uh, fives. You don't play with this. I say, oh, this is more fusion. I say, oh, let's put on this, you know, like. And another other thing is like Mike Orlando's make most of the songs. He's composing, writing most of the songs, and he said, oh, let's do a fast song like 195. I said, no, man, two 220, you know, like so, because this fast for this style, I thought it's funny because when I came to play nocturnal, like what they thought was fast wasn't fast for people who play drummers who play other kinds of
Right, yeah.
music, you know, like. So I said, no, no, we could make a fast song. And they said, whoa, it's not fast. It's no, it's not too fast, you know. Like, and it's just like bring another energy to the band and say, okay, we have another representation which is fast or not, you know. And Mike Orlando loved that and said, oh, I already made the song. And he hit me up on a WhatsApp of the first part of the song and say, well, man, it's the drums. I would put it in, and because he programs the drums sometimes and say, oh, you put the drums, I would do it, you know, I would make it, you know, like I said, oh, I thought of you playing, you know. So this kind of communication is cool, you know, when you see the guy will not like and if you do this and will like if you do that, you know, like. So we got this communication really easy on a nocturnal, you know, already. I know what they want to listen to, you know. And I start to put some of my sauce on it, not not to, you know, not to go out of the style, but bring some things that contribute to the sound. As like, if you want to get heavy, you know, like I know how to get heavy, you know, like more of this, you know. So I think I made nocturnal a little heavier
Yeah.
than it
It,
was, because I really like when the sound is heavy and it still have like vocals singing, you know, like I like screaming, I like all kinds of, which is, for me, it's hard to judge like this is cool, this is not cool, you know. Like for drums, like I it's hard to like everything like I do. Like I'm really picky on my drumming. I say, no, that's not cool. The guy said, no, it's already good. No, it's not. Give me one more day, and then I come with something that uh, all like it, you know. We all like it.
yeah. I think it's cool that, well, because when you said that about them not knowing what was really fast, or that it could be done faster, you know, some genres have their standards of what's fast, what's super heavy, because, you know, of course, when you're playing like progressive or heavy, traditional heavy metal, and you go to like thrash or hardcore or then death metal, you know, the speeds, like what's fast changes. And that's really an interesting approach that you can give and broaden like the musical spectrum that you bring to the genre, or to the band, or to the music
Yeah.
genre itself.
Yeah, you know, like we had a show here that I was in the English show 3 days before,
Well,
and a week before, and this other week we had Suicide Silence,
oh,
Black Dahlia Murder, and Cannibal Corpse. You know, and I think I was the only human being that like it all. You know, like equal. You know, like people who listen to Cannibal Corpse don't like Suicide Silence
yeah,
here, and people who listen to Black Dahlia Murder don't like. And I said, I think it's bullshit, because the like what matters, like what you're feeling, like
yeah.
if
You
you
can like
feel it's
everything, of
good,
course.
then forget everything, like about it, like. But I think I was the only guy that really enjoy like the three shows.
I would be at all shows too. If I could, I would be at all of them because I like all of those bands. But yeah, you're totally right that people sometimes lean to one of those styles, or perhaps for personal preferences, or not liking the other. But if there's something, if the music is good, you can definitely appreciate what's going on, and the live factor that you mentioned earlier, it's also really important for the music to hit you live
Oh,
as it
yeah.
should be. Yeah.
I think is when nowadays is when you can see the heart, of the song, the heart of the music, how it touches you. Because nowadays you don't know how the band sounds really if you listen to the record, like it can be all changed. So I've seen bands that I love the record and I went to see them
And
live. I
live,
said,
yeah.
"Whoa, man, this is not what I listen to."
Totally.
you know,
So
I think the drummer plays a good part on that. Like
yes, of
if
course, it's one of the most important parts actually. And live is what you feel inside. I mean, the drums, what moves you in the show.
yeah, the singer, all the charisma thing and make bring people to the energy. But if the drummer doesn't contribute, people won't won't believe it, won't get to the energy,
Yeah,
like. And playing like it's cool because when you play in Europe, like and in South America, like the feeling it's totally different, and you have a song that which can touch the guy who has totally different feeling on the song. He listened to the song totally different way that the guys here listen to,
yeah,
and they both like get into the music. But that's something like, well, this is uh, uh, a language, like a world language, like everybody can understand and speak that. Because we say, oh, people don't understand the song, that's why they don't like it. Say, man, they don't have to understand, they have to feel it. Maybe they didn't have the time to feel it, like when you go to live show, I've seen a lot of people that not metal heads, but when they go to a metal show and they say, yeah, this is something, like,
yeah,
that's the cool thing about the shows, metal shows.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Henrique, I may add that you've already been producing bands for many years, working with bands, of course. So regarding these two techniques that are blast beats and double bass, sometimes, and I've heard this in your music and examples for, well, Sepultura, for example, a band that really does it. Besides the fast aspect or the technical aspects of time, music sometimes needs its space to like to groove and to breathe, and perhaps not be only about the fast stuff. It's something that makes kind of a good contrast in music like yours, for example, or many other bands. So when working on your own music, when working with other bands, like producing them or writing with alongside them, I don't know, how much attention do you pay to that? Well, it depends on the genre, of course. You mentioning Black Dahlia Murder, I think there the aspect is the speed, the technical abilities, or well, Suicide Silence, the breakdowns and all that stuff. So how can you read drums while writing songs and say, okay, this riff I must accompany with fast drumming. Here's time to like groove medium kind of rhythm. How's that like for you?
Yeah. That's a cool question. Yeah, a cool question. Actually, I think about technique, about you getting the technique out of a way. You know, like I don't want to the techniques getting my way on the music. You know, for the to the music. If you don't master a technique, you will get in the way. You know, sometimes you will have to pay attention technique. I don't like to pay attention technique. Any people see me like, oh, I see you working on microphones and the cables here. That's cool that you like it. And I say, oh, I hate that. I don't like to clean bathrooms. I like to see them clean. So, so that's the idea. Like when I go to the stage to play, go to record. I don't want to think that I need to practice some technique. I need to pay attention the microphone. I need to pay attention anything else than the music and the feeling. If for me to judge, like if I have to play faster or slow, depends a lot of which band I am playing with. Uh, I know like some when they do like a melodic song, like they want to see like a speed metal, you know, like, and I make the speed metal, but I in the middle of the song, and what if we we come down to this and
Yeah.
that? That's where you can put like more your style, you know, like because uh if I start playing like, oh, I will make this speed metal like more hardcore, like maybe you'll see like, man, this guy is trying to take the song here and I trying to push there, you know, like it becomes like more like you don't see the arrangement like
Hmm.
working out, you know, like I always put, I love it to put, I used to not do that, but I must, I have to play the drums, make the drums idea with the vocals or after the vocals, you know, because I play drums for the vocals, you know, like with the riff. I play with the guitars, but for the vocals, you know, like I want to make the vocals um, better, you know, like more um, uh, I, more in the face of the people, you know, like if a guy say a word like fight, I want to play something that
Okay.
you make you feel like fighting, you know, like
Yeah.
so I will make a semiotic kind of way, you know, uh like if the guy likes playing, you have to run, you have to speed. I wouldn't play like slow, you know, like so I like to feel what the lyrics are talking about and how how the singer like wants to what he expects the drums like to take his vocals, you know, like I want to
Yeah.
the drums make, you know, like talking with the vocals, you know, like communication with the vocals. When you stop a phrase, maybe a drum fill to call that phrase, you know, like so then you're gonna say maybe I stop the drums here because you really say something cool. If I stop the drums, everybody will pay attention on the vocals, and they will, if they sing one part, they will sing that part. You know, I've done this in Project 46 and the song say, man, we stop now, and you just say something there, and then it works pretty fine. Like we go the show, like when you stop the drums, when people pay attention and sing together, you know,
Hmm.
you start to see in the shows like what is cool, you know, like works out. And oh, let's make this part for people, you know, clap their hands, you know, like make part of the show, you know, like it's cool when when you're writing and you see yourself like in the show, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
what that part will cause on people, you know, like and sometimes in the beginning when you like not much experienced, you want to people crazy all the time, but then you start thinking like, oh, if I don't make people down, they won't fill up, you know, like you just start working with the like when it goes low, and if I go fast right after, it will seems that I'm faster than I really. If I play the whole show faster, sometimes you feel like you're not playing faster anymore, like you don't feel that energy of um the difference between a slow part and a fast part, like it's all cool, depending. You have Raining Blood, the best albums, and it's all like fast songs, and right, and you have Salt of Heaven, like, oh, let's slow down a little,
Yes.
so when you go to Slayer show, you have all this kind of feelings, like sometimes really slow and then fast,
I once
you work with a lot of feelings in the show, like not just aggressive all the time, you don't you start not feeling aggressive anymore, even with the guy playing fast,
Yeah, I once heard Gene Hoglan say that I think that both with Dark Angel or with now with Testament, he said that for the first songs, like for the first songs of the set list, he likes to put weight in his legs, and then when a super fast song comes, he removes that and he like feels like he flies
uh,
with the double
each
bass,
drummer
and with
has something
yeah,
to some, in a way, like it's pretty cool to experience. Like when sometimes you, oh, what technique on the pedal you like best? And I say, man, I like them all, like, but oh, you learn all that now. I started learning and see how it works. But one thing is, when I practicing one technique, I get better in the other technique, because you just teach your body, your brains, like, this
yeah.
muscle memory, like, and then you have all this loose, and then you start to lose your feet, keep your feet loose, or, like, it's get easier, like, and if you want to play fast, really fast, I saw that floating, which is a fast technique. I said, man, I need another technique, and I start working on heel toe. And you see guys like Jimmy Hoagland, he keeps on his technique with a chain pedal, but you see like Alex Grinder from Despised Icon,
Yeah.
he used to play floating, and he changed, and he came with the heel toe, another
Floating is the
technique
one that you
playing.
kind of move your feet like this.
No, can be this, but when you play like really, like with the ankle,
Yeah, yeah.
doing that movement, this is a swivel.
Oh, okay.
Swivel we call. But sometimes do people make the floating, just moving a little bit, like I do. It's not really a swivel, just a floating with some motion,
Okay,
which
okay.
brings a lot of uh, and makes this idea a little cloudy. But that's one thing uh, I will talk about
Well,
in this class, because sometimes like Joy Jordison, he used to play with his leg, but you don't see really fast Slipknot songs like Sepultura, But if you listen to Despised Icon, Beneath the Massacre, which is like, you see that the drums is not made to sound slower, doesn't have a really good sound. It sounds the way it should sound to play fast, because if you take the sound of the drums and make it really cool, sometimes if you're gonna play too fast, will make it dirty, so you have to make the hits a little, uh, what I say, with the fast decay, which will make it sounds like a little thinner, like not too fat. So when you want a heavy sound, we maybe will be hard to get from a drums which is tuned and prepared to play really fast. Maybe sometimes the triggers only. It has a lot of roads for you to take. You have the drummers who play with triggers, so they just hit the drum. It's enough. They don't need to hit hard. But it's a way of playing. Like sometimes you try to play different styles with that, it won't sound uh, so cool. So you need to find a way to get your drum sounding the way you want to play, like, oh, not too fast. Like if you play too fast, the drummer from Black Dahlia Murder, he used to muffle all the kick bass. Like you you wouldn't listen the sound of kick bass. If you put a microphone, no sound.
Yeah, in that case, you have to like raise all
Only
the
trigger.
higher frequencies, and the boom of the kick is kind of missing.
Yeah, you only, even he plays really he doesn't hit hard at all, like so he can play flat really fast. So his drum hammer doesn't go too
Oh yeah,
down, too low. Totally different from Max from Crees. He uses an
yeah,
iron cobra chain pedal with the heater way down. Like it hits the the drum head, like it has a long way. But that's the way he feels like playing. Like that's why I don't say that's a right way of playing. Like you gotta make a research on your, like each body responds differently, each drummer sits in a different height, but it's good to explore that, not only accept that, like, but ask yourself, like, well, what would be the effect if I sit a little higher? What would be the effect if I sit a little lower? So by yourself in a studio, not in a rehearsal, that's I think a mistake I see a lot of. I've been doing this for ages, and I've done a lot, which is like use the rehearsal to learn the songs, to practice the songs. For me, I think rehearsal is to make it sound together with the band. Like when with Nocturnal, I had to face that and learn the songs. And when we rehearsal two rehearsals before the tour we had, so I can be there like, oh, I don't know this part of the song,
yeah. You have to
like,
learn it.
so
Yeah,
everybody sits there on the stage. Okay, we go get a coffee. No, no way. It's just
yeah,
like practicing between the songs, what we're gonna make, like this part we're gonna play different. Let's play together to see how it sounds, like that's really cool that I could join Nocturno and then make part of this, um, like this way of thinking and this level of musicians that we can allow ourselves to make that, and spend less money before the shows, because we don't need a lot of time of rehearsal, like, so make it practical, like just do what you have to do, like, and then and bring me like some talent, not problems,
right.
solutions. So drummers, I made a video. This like is the most problematic guy in the band. Like he has a lot of stuff like to take to the show. He has like 20 cables on his instrument, while the guitar is like two. Like a lot of room for problems.
Yeah,
So
always.
you gotta pay
And as you
attention.
said, and as you said, besides the technical things that he has to bring on stage, um, when the drumming stops, even if it's intentionally or it, it kind of always is intentionally, because you want people to sing or something. But when the drums like stop or get lower or calm, that's where the attention goes. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
the bass player can like miss a few notes, the guitar in the solo maybe two, but if the drum misses, that's what the people will notice.
Oh yeah, we have it's good to have this kind of like peaky, like way of working, because music, it's all details, like
Mm.
I don't care if a drummer misses one part or the other, but how he's playing, like what the kind of emotion he's
Yeah,
bringing to the audience when playing. I think that that's where the magic is,
yeah, well,
like
because
like lights, like you have lights on the show, but you don't want the audience thinking like, whoa, this show has has a really light
Right. Yeah.
framing, you know, like
At least, you know, only photographers or those will think of that. But yeah, the public, I mean, should focus on the music.
yeah, you know, like it's made for just for the emotion, you know, like I don't want a guy saying, oh, that part of the drums on the song was, I want a guy saying, man, I don't know what I felt. I just want to feel again, you know, like I had one guy saying this, I said, man, that's the best compliment I always, and I always had, you know, like just they couldn't describe, you know, like it's the best feeling, I think, when you make something, because I think it's when you process, you know, like you put the guy will hear like just once on one sound, everybody playing together. He won't hear the drums really uh, separated from the, you know, I'm here, the drums now, guitar. He will feel have one feeling, you know. He won't feel have different feelings for the drums and guitars when you just you're gonna hit him with your song, your sound in your song, and hope to like to feel the energy you felt, you know, like that's cool when you play abroad, like to say, man, the things like that unifying us here is the music, you know, everything else is different, you know, distance, language. um that's pretty cool, you know, like about metal being worldwide, you know, like different other kinds of song. We talking here, you know, like, and it's to Luciano, which Piantoni, which brought us together. So man, that's pretty cool, you know, because we are together here and we don't know each other, you know, like, and even Brazil, because we speak Portuguese, the other countries, you see, there's kind of a link between the countries that speak
Yeah, of
Spanish, you
course.
know, they can.
Actually,
Well,
with Luciano, when we speak or like send voice messages, I talk in Spanish and he replies in Portuguese, and we can
yeah.
understand it. You know, here we are speaking in English for the purpose because of being like it would be kind of messy to have the one in Spanish and the other in Portuguese. But yeah, those,
And
I
I
mean,
got
really
surprised how I
similar.
could understand Spanish, you know. But first, I was afraid because the first country I went to speak Spanish was Chile, and
Oh,
I couldn't understand them. And I
oh,
said,
they speak
"Whoa,
very
man, I
fast. They
can't."
speak very fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Then I went to Argentina. I said, "Whoa, I
as
really
well.
got better in my Spanish, you know, because I can't understand everything." And in Spain, Barcelona, even the Catalan, I could understand. I said, "Well, that's cool," you know. Like
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
like
because you know
Spanish.
the here in the Spanish speaking countries in South America, I think Chile and Argentina are the ones that speak the fastest. And well, of course, if you go to Spain, and they are quite more paused. And even in Brazil, you've got different like
Uh,
Portuguese is in different. For example, the Sao Paulo accent is super fast as well.
oh, oh, the Northeast Fest, even for us. And in Ecuador, when I went to play in a Quito Fest, which is an awesome fest, man, and like really nice fest. And then I wanted to speak Spanish with and they want to speak English. I said, no, let's speak Spanish.
Oh,
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 right, nice. Yeah,
yeah,
man. I think it's one kind of, even in Poland, like when we went to the restaurant and they wanna know what to order, and I said, give me the speciality, you know. And
right.
I tried it. They say, what is it? I don't know. Let's see, you know. Let's eat, you know. Like, and it's pretty cool to feel like the energy when you the place you're playing, you know. I guess I know there's a lot of musicians, they want to go to McDonald's and experience what they know, you know, like what's safer for them. But I really like to experience the new things that the country has to offer, you know, like even when playing, you know, like let's play a set list that you'll talk to people here, you know, like. So in Nocturno we have this possibility because well, we have like lower sound, slower sounds, slower songs, fast songs, um, even with no drums songs. So we can like make a build a show like with a lot of um feeling different feelings, you know, like that's what I'm enjoying. Like it's a place that I can play more stuff, you know, like I feel like I can whatever I throw there, it can be fitable. And the hardcore is, I think, it's the most hard for you to bring some new, something
Yeah,
new. They're very picky. Like, no, this is metal. No, or
just keep
this.
your regular like punk
And
beats, and well, of course you can do things. I mean, yeah, but
uh, and
I
after
understand.
playing with Paul, after getting out of projects, I play with Clearview with a hardcore band, and I want to be like, oh, I will take only one pedal. I want to play as a hardcore drummer because I didn't have this opportunity. The last band hardcore I played because they want me playing more metal, and people say, "Oh, Henrique made the band metal," and I say, "No,
No,
I want
yeah,
to play hardcore. They want me." And we all like find a way to play metal hardcore, which I think that's what make the uh, album that was the time I most play here in Brazil. Like was 2008. There's every weekend we throw the stuff in the car. We would play 3 shows in a cities close, and it was a very like there was a lot of hardcore shows going on that time. And then I went to project. There was a lot of um, metal core bands playing festivals. We play in the Monsters of Rock. We had this opportunity, and we were supposed to be the first band and the second band, which was Hell Yeah. They didn't. They couldn't make it. They didn't go to the festival, and then we play in on their place in the festival, which was second. So we had the chance to play for like 3 times more people than we would play if we were the first band, and it was Monsters of Rock. I think was
wow,
better playing than Rock in Rio because it was a really metal fest, and we play uh, in the main stage, different from Rock in Rio. You like have so many attractions that you
yeah, yeah,
kind of get lost in this whole bunch of big acts.
yeah. That's a
But
lot.
yeah.
So yeah, well, definitely a lot of stuff for the that you've been doing. I mean, I really encourage people to go check out this class that you'll be putting out on the 4th of
Oh
August.
yeah, it
Again,
will be on the 4th on YouTube, 8 o'clock here in Brazil. I don't know the
well, in
difference.
Argentina it's the
Yeah,
same time, but I think Mexico like 6, Chile at 7. They can
yeah,
check like their
yeah.
local
And
times.
it just acts as you get in a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
I can give you the link here,
Yeah,
and
I can leave it here in the description so that the people can
nice. So
go
just
and check it
click in
out.
the link. You will make part of the group, and the day of the class, I will send you the link
Cool.
for
Awesome.
the class. And it's the thing like I've been teaching for a while, and I get surprised because people like it to have classes say that I have a good didactics, but I like to explain really, every step,
Yeah.
so you can you don't lose any step of the construction. It's like a building a house. Like if you I see like a big mistake for us musicians is like to ignore the basics, and in the basics they are in the difficult stuff. The difficult stuff are they're not in the basic stuff, and 95% of the songs in the world, it's basic stuff. They have basic stuff. They can have like the more difficult stuff, but even if you get a well-known band, like I bet like their most known song is a fast one, like even Sepultura, like which
Right.
is a band that play
You
fast. You have Territory, like, which is
right.
uh, it's like like single for the band, like you. So it's pretty cool when you can work the feelings, like, and then it's different speeds, different harmonics, different melodies. I think it makes you express yourself more precisely, like, because you can feel happy, but sometimes you feel happy with anger, sometimes you feel happy for you, for the others, not you. You have a lot of steps on the feelings. I bring this to the music, and you have like bands playing almost the same kind of music, but they sound totally different. Like, that's what makes a band with personality. Like Gojira. You listen to Gojira, that is Gojira. That's what I like to make the band I'm playing the drums for to sound like.
Absolutely.
That's
So
that's the
definitely,
idea.
yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't know if you wanted to say anything else.
Oh, ready. And, well, I really wanted to make it. We are talking about this, making happen a tour, like in South America, with bands from South America. Um, Cultura 3 from Ecuador. I we got to make a tour of Max and Igor, and with Andra, the band I was playing with. Like, having more like uh, this communication, this uh, exchange some knowledge, shows. I think I want to see, uh, here we in South America, we giving more value for what we have here. Like in Chile, like the metal scene is awesome. We play in Maquinaria there. People they were running to when we start playing, like they start running the other stage to our stage to show us, like, whoa. And Russia, when we went to play with Disturbed, we had everybody in the show, like, before we playing. Like, it was an open act, and
Wow.
everybody was there was I went out there to have a cup of coffee, and I got surprised that, whoa, maybe the show's already to start, because there was nobody there. And I said, well, that's totally different from Brazil.
Yeah.
I think we just like, we not we're not too sensible for this anymore. Like, we get a lot of bands, a lot of shows. Sometimes you just go to show, like, which has six bands. You go, oh, we'll see only the two last
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah. Here it's the same. It's the same. Yeah.
And then, like, and then I I I think it is, in the past, like, you have more energy in the crowd. Like, they between the shows, people were like, like, all crazy, and then the show comes. And nowadays, I went to the hardcore show, like, between the bands, like, everybody's sitting, they're waiting, not much noise. So, well, that's kind of different from and if you see, like, a show, I was watching shows, like, festivals in the 90s, and from the same band. I don't know what band I was. Totally different, man. People now watching the shows, and the same
Yeah.
band audience, like, going crazy, like the dust was going up on the mosh pit. It was awesome.
Let's hope we can get that soon. I mean, mosh pits and all that stuff. I mean, with the COVID, I think. Well, of course, I hope in 2022 we can return to that kind of normality. With
Yeah,
everyone.
I will be in a lot of shows.
Yeah, yeah,
I miss being in the show, like watching
yeah.
the show. Oh man, I like them both.
You need to be both on stage and down with the crowd. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. I don't like
awesome.
to watch shows on the stage. I go down there to watch. It's
Absolutely, it's
crazy.
like two different emotions for
Yeah.
sure. Well, let's hope to have that. I mean, back on 2022. Well,
Yeah.
there's some things happening, like we said at first. now, but it's not the same like to watch a show like sitting down with people like 1.5 meter away. It's like, where's the metal there? But well, it's that or nothing, so we must at least support
Yeah,
that.
we made a show in a theater where everybody was sitting. Man, it's so cold. Like it's a cold show. I see a good part on that, but comparing,
it's not for this
no.
kind of music. It's not for rock, for metal. That certainly is
Yeah.
not the style.
And
But
I
well,
really wish to be playing there, man, and Peru and Argentina. And we have a show already with Sons of Apollo in Chile in
oh yeah,
January. And I hope we can get the chance to play other countries here. Than Peru. I never played in Peru before, so it's a country that I want to play, and I want to visit parts of the country. Really, really
sure.
cool to enjoy. Can't wait.
Well, it will be. I'm sure it will happen in many countries, and let's hope that everything gets back. But for the meantime, you can check Enrique's lesson on the 4th. You can see the link to the WhatsApp group here in the description below. And again, Enrique, it's been great chatting with you. I found it really interesting.
And if you need drums for your band, that's one kind of my job also. I keep my drums in the studio ready to record and rock.
Okay, that's awesome. People can definitely take that into account, because, well, if not, they can go check out your projects, everything you've done. I mean, from Nocturnal to Project 46, like everything, and they'll see they will do good with those drums. I'm sure. So again, man, it's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope everything works out for the best with this lesson, with this class. With Nocturnal's new album, I hope, tour next year, and everything you got lined up.
Then we can meet in person.
Yeah, yeah, it would be great.
It would be great. Person is better.
Thanks a lot, man. Take a lot of care.
Bye bye. It's a pleasure. Cheers.
My pleasure.